I had the hyperemesis gravidarum issue, but it was misdiagnosed for morning sickness until it got really bad to a point where I was vomiting blood. I have a friend who also experienced this, and hers led to even losing one of the twins that she was pregnant with.
In a world brimming with innovation and progress, there exists a harsh reality for millions of mothers and babies. For them, the miracle of childbirth is overshadowed by the looming threat of death. As of 2020, Nigeria's maternal and child mortality rate soared to a heart-wrenching 1,047 deaths per 100,000 live births, ranking it the third highest in the world. This means that every 2 hours in Nigeria, a mother loses her life-giving birth, and every 6 hours, a child takes its first breath, only to have it cruelly snatched away. Eden Venture Group is determined to tackle the unique challenges faced by mothers, newborns, and children by ensuring access to quality healthcare services. The fight against maternal and child mortality in Nigeria is far from over, but with every voice raised and every action taken, we can rewrite the story.
The reason why I choose to advocate for maternal health or maternal mortality is because of my own experiences and my mother's experience. When my mother was pregnant with me at 6 months, she had to undergo this surgery to keep the baby in because she had a loose uterus. And then also fast forward to my own experience where I have 2 babies now. And the first child, I had the hyperemesis gravidarum issue, but it was misdiagnosed for morning sickness until it got really bad to a point where I was vomiting blood. It affected my health drastically. And for me, it was misinformation and also ignorance because, I didn't have knowledge what that was. And then I would speak to some of the doctors and they would say, oh, it's just morning sickness and it would get better. But this lasted till when I was in labor. In fact, few days even after I had given birth. And so it was like a really terrible experience. And later when we found out what it was, then how to manage it came to play. But then there are a lot of people that also do not have this knowledge. I have a friend who also experienced this, and hers led to even losing one of the twins that she was pregnant with. I think beyond ignorance, you also have lack of care, sometimes coming from the caregivers themselves, lack of infrastructure in hospitals, and of course, the cultural norms. We still have places in the north, for instance, right, where you would be told that it's the tradition of our family that all the wives give birth at home and we do not go to hospitals. One of my aunt's friend that's late now, she was a victim of that. She was in labor for over 24 hours at home. And when she finally gave birth, what ended up happening was the placenta refused to come out, and they left her with that placenta for over 40 hours in her, and she passed away. And so cultural norms really play a role also in maternal mortality, lack of infrastructure, and also the lack of care from caregivers themselves. If the government starts to care a little bit more about the infrastructure that's there and that there's not, and making sure that's in place, then I think we can get somewhere. And also in regards to the development sector, I believe a lot of people are doing so much, but when we start to also collaborate more and not really act in silos, that can also sort of make it more profound. So I think collaboration, empathy, and a lot of sensitization has to go into all of this for us to see a better system. In the shrouded realm behind the curtain, a whispered folklore unfurls, a tender dance spun by benevolent health keepers, intricately shaping the destiny of well-being with hands woven together, unearthing the power to mend, to cultivate pulses. For try as we may, it takes a special kind of superpower to birth a life from the brink of oblivion. And so here within these walls, let's declare continuity and commitment as allies. And while we deliberate on building the things that will outlive us, let us not neglect the things that will help us live. And let the last mile become the first step towards a future uncertain but full of promise.
Let's create a world where every birth is a celebration. Join the conversation now. Visit www.edenventuregroup.com/MNCH to learn more.